Do. Check the mic. Oh, there we go. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. My name is Dean. Welcome back to the program. End of the week. Jays win yesterday, 10-9. Win their opener. I was really happy about that. 10-9. Quite a back and forth. Got to watch the whole game sitting on my couch. First game of the year. I was so excited. Lachlan Cross is here as well. Yeah, it was so fucking good, wasn't it? It was such a great. It was back and forth. It was seesaw. It was dink and dunk and a couple of great plays. And they're up and they're down. Up 3 in the first, then up 2, and then they're down 2 late in the 6th. Then all of a sudden the 7th, it's like they score a couple, and George Springer goes 5 for 6. Bo Bichette goes 4 for 6. It was awesome to have baseball back, dude. I was so pumped. What a game.
You're a big baseball fan. I'm a casual fan, but I had it on because it was the home opener, right?
Yes, you did.
So I'm watching. I'm making dinner with the wife and just had it on in the background, and all of a sudden my phone starts going nuts, right?
Yeah.
Because of the Trump stuff, and everyone's like, "You said he was going to jail. You wasn't going to jail, and now he's going to jail, and you're an idiot." And why? And I'm like, "There's a baseball game on. What's wrong with you losers? Stop."
I know.
And he isn't in jail.
He's going to jail. He's going to jail on Tuesday.
He is not going to jail. He's indicted. He's not going to jail.
He's going to jail.
Anyway.
He's going to jail on Tuesday. I know what you're talking about. Middle of a Jays game, and I struggled yesterday. I kept it on the Jays game. I didn't waver. I knew Trump was going to get indicted at some point. Yesterday was the day. We've also got to talk about that today. We're going to have a little fun about the Elon Musk plans on killing what's left of Twitter tomorrow at like midnight, which is kind of fucked. But anyway,
are you upset about the Twitter?
No, we'll get to not at all. Not at all. Could care less.
Okay.
We'll get to it coming up in a minute. I will miss my legacy blue check mark because I kind of liked pimping that thing around. It was kind of fun. And anybody that has a blue check mark, like a real one, will tell you the same thing.
I've applied for it.
Yeah, I know. You're not allowed to have it because no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares about me. And,
no, I know.
That's my life.
I care about you. You don't need a check mark.
Then they said, "You want to pay for it?" And I was almost going to, just to be a cock.
Yeah, but you didn't. Anyway, we got that to get to because
you know why? Because I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew he was going to be this whole thing was going to be a mess, and that's exactly what we got happening right now. The whole thing is a
fucking disaster. Like Twitter is a disaster. I'll tell you how much of a disaster it is. But I don't want to start there today. We need to start at the most logical place to start.
Yeah.
I know we live in a beautiful country just north of the border. I get it. I know we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, Canada. Yes, I'm stealing theirs. They're saying about their country, land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah. The Great White North. It's like the apartment above the meth lab. We've talked about that a million times. Well, the meth lab fucking cleaned it up a little yesterday. Let's have a look at this. Crier Media, crier.co. You can check this out yourself. Some of the details are in there as well. Donald Trump indicted will turn himself in on Tuesday. Because of that, see you next Tuesday has been trending all over Twitter. So everybody's calling each other the C word, which has been a lot of fun. And it's not just that person's doing. Even Melanie DiRigio, who's like a high-priced lawyer in the United States, she's like, "See you next Tuesday, Marjorie Taylor Greene," who said she's going to put her MAGA hat on and go to the constitutional. She's got a constitutional right to support the president. She's going to go protest the tyrants because Donald Trump got arrested for being a fucking criminal because he's a fucking lifelong criminal who did lifelong criminal things. And he is getting indicted by the DA in Manhattan on Tuesday. He was already indicted. They phoned him and were like, "Hey, dude, grand jury just said you're indicted on 34 counts. So you need to make your way to New York on Tuesday." And so he is willing to surrender to the New York authorities on Tuesday. Apparently, that's when it's going to go down downtown Manhattan, courthouse, criminal building, 2:15 p.m. on Tuesday. See you next Tuesday, Donald.
You know what I love about this story? Is
so many parts to like the porn star angle's incredible. The Schadenfreude's awesome.
Yeah. No, here's what I love about this story. I don't know if jump the shark's the right term for this, but we're literally talking about this guy being charged with 30 counts of fraud, business fraud, because
34.
of how he handled 34 now. So 34 cases of business fraud. He's being indicted. He's got to go to the courthouse in New York on Tuesday. Okay. They'll fingerprint him. He gets a mugshot, the whole 9 yards. This is the first time that a president has ever been criminally charged for anything in the history of the United States of America.
Right on. Yeah.
And everyone keeps talking about this witch hunt and the fact that, the only reason this is happening is because he's a Republican. And then there's the other side of it. He should be in jail. Why didn't this happen a long time ago? The guy's a criminal. But the whole thing, every time I hear the porn star thing get brought up and the fact that he was paying porn stars to keep quiet, everyone goes, yeah, but that's okay. He's allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But it's the money. He wrote it on the wrong checks.
No, that's not what happened.
I'm kidding. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, how everybody's trying to piece this whole thing off. No one knows.
We completely ignored the fact that this asshole paid off 2 porn stars to not talk about what his penis looks like.
And here's the thing.
And
this
everyone's
is why he got in trouble.
About the being charged.
Well, this is why he's in trouble. He wrote it off as a business expense.
Exactly. Well, it should be. Dean, he should be allowed to. You should be able to write that off on his taxes.
Well, no, you shouldn't, and you're not allowed. It's illegal. So it's tax fraud, tax evasion. So that's, I'm sure, a couple of the charges in there too. But the other part of this, I know you disagree, but you're just
it was a business expense.
Or
he
lawyer.
Was trying to run for the president of the United States of America.
Exactly.
This was something.
And the rule is that if you pay someone not to say anything and you are a legitimate candidate for the presidency of the United States, that is also election fraud. So he's got tax fraud, election fraud. Those are going to be for sure 2 of the charges. And to prove it, to prove it was election fraud.
We're not going to bring porn stars.
No, hang on. I'm going to bring the porn star into this because I fucking love Stormy Daniels. I actually watched some of her work yesterday. I did some research. So I watched a couple of Stormy Daniels movies for about 3-4 hours in the afternoon. It was good. She's a great actress. She's very, very good at what she does. And I'm a big fan. So I really enjoyed it. I took a couple of breaks because I was really, really enjoying it. But other than that, I researched Stormy Daniels for a few hours. A porn star has brought down the president of the United States. A porn star is responsible for Donald Trump getting getting frog marched into the Manhattan criminal law office, where he's going to get this fingerprinted. He's going to get a mugshot, and he may even get put in handcuffs. Now, I found out today. Yeah. Because it's like part of the process. Got to read him his Miranda rights. Because he has been charged with 34 different things. And he's going to find out what those are, along with us, sealed indictments, so nobody knows. So anytime someone says this to you, we're like, it's a fucking witch hunt. Just say, why don't we wait to see what the charges are there, dipshit? Because nobody knows what the charges are yet. But after he gets charged, so when they read him his Miranda rights, part of that protocol, which is law, is you got to put the fucking guy in handcuffs. So I read today, and this is fucking unbelievable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read today, and this is great, that, get this, there is a reward out for a picture of him in handcuffs. Guess how much someone's willing to pay for it if they do cuff him?
I did see this.
$15 million. $15 million for the person who's like that can get a picture of Donald Trump in cuffs getting processed in Manhattan by the district attorney, Alvin Bragg. That is fucking awesome.
That's what the problem's going to be downtown. Like it's not going to be protesters. It's going to be camera people and the press trying, like, falling all over themselves to get a picture. That's what's going to happen here.
Dude, did you see in front of the courthouse today? It's a couple pictures in front of the courthouse. It's like 400 camera people just kind of waiting till Tuesday, and like 7 people in MAGA hats going, he got railroaded. He got fucked. Don't worry about it. It's okay. This guy's my guy. That's MAGA Nation. You guys are never Trump. Well, yeah, the guy, and this is, by the way, this is one of 5. He may, and I read this again today, don't know if it's true.
This one's like one of the least.
Because he's got a couple outstanding racketeering, treason, and seditious treason charges he's up against right now. So here's the great part. Because people know where he's going to be on Tuesday, the thinking is on the way into the courthouse, he's going to get picked off with 2 or 3 more lawsuits. He's going to get served, right? That's what happens when someone says, hey, you've been served. They get a process server to go and go, here are the papers. You have to go to court. Someone wants to sue you or you've been charged. So he might get charged with more than what he's supposed to just get charged with, which is 34 fucking counts, 34 criminal charges on Tuesday.
So
there may be more that day. He is so fucked. It's bizarre. Like, and here's the thing. He's going off. Like, he's not doing himself any favors.
He still won't go
sailing away. Dude, he tweets this at 3:00 this morning. Where's Hunter? Speaking of Hunter Biden. And then he put this in his bio today. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. You know, that was like, and we all know what that is. It's a fucking old school bumper sticker. That's what the masses get told. Then he put this out when he found out he got indicted. This is incredible. These thugs and radical left monsters have just indicated, I think he means indicted, the 45th president of the United States of America, the leading Republican candidate by far, the 2024 nomination for president. I think he means 2024 nominant for president. This is an attack on our country, the likes of which never been seen before. And likewise, a continued attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. He's not done, Locke. This guy is going to jail, and he's now threatening the judge in his case. The judge assigned to my witch hunt case, a case that has never been charged before, hates me.
Wasn't he a Republican? Wasn't he a Republican placement?
I don't know. No idea.
Manuel?
No idea. His name is Juan Manuel Marchand. He was handpicked by Bragg and the prosecutors as the same person who railroaded my 75-year-old CFO, Alan Weisselberg, into taking a plea deal, pled guilty, even if you're not 90 days, fight the court, 10 years, life. I don't even fucking know what that means. Life in jail. He strong-armed Alan, which a judge is not allowed to do, and treated my companies, which didn't plead, viciously, appealing. I don't even know what that means. And then he tweets this out a couple hours ago. What kind of person can charge another person, in this case, a former president of the United States, who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far? He's not. Ron DeSantis is. For the Republican nomination of a crime when it is shown by all that no crime has been committed, also none a potential death, destruction. Such a false charge would be catastrophic for a country who's threatening death and destruction. Like, dude's lost his mind. And then he deleted this. He deleted this. So that's Alvin Bragg. He's the DA in Manhattan, the guy that just charged him. And then he tweeted a picture of him with a bat getting ready to cave Alvin Bragg's head in. So not only is he threatening the DA that just charged him with 34 counts of whatever, he's also now threatening the judge, and he's also threatening America, like literally threatening the people of America that there will be death and destruction if he's charged. And he's getting charged on Tuesday, Locke.
So I got a couple of things.
You owe me $1,000, by the way.
He's not in jail. I've said he will never go to jail.
He's going to jail on Tuesday.
Why do you keep pulling that? Did I ever bet you $1,000? I have zero
right here on the show. You bet me $1,000. $1,000.
No, he's not going to jail. Okay, I got a couple of thoughts.
Yep.
On the on the Trump thing. One, I think he got himself into some trouble from what no, hold on. When he announced that he wanted people to go down and start protesting because he was gonna get.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to figure out how to do this and keep as many people safe as possible, because I think there was legitimately concerns about his followers and what they might do across the country.
Last week they called in a bomb threat.
If he flamed,
in New York.
if he fanned the flames.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that part of the holdup on some of these indictments and some of the legal processes, I mean, we all know he just appeals everything and throws a bunch of legal shit at everything. Yeah. He's just got teams of lawyers working on stuff, right? Just to sort of grind it to a halt. And he's running out of rope on all of that stuff. But I think when nothing happened, when very little happened, when the country went, oh, whatever. And then a few crazies dusted off the MAGA hats and went down and protested, here and there across the country. They went, oh, okay, he doesn't have the same pull. All right, now everybody, let's get together. Let's figure out what we can charge him with now. I think he fucked himself. I think if he had been able to rile up the masses, and there would have been protests and flipping cars and starting fires, I think we would not have what we have coming down the pipe Tuesday. And I believe,
sort of like how politicians will float like a bad idea, whether or not they're going to do it, just to see the response, and then depending on the response, they might do that thing. So it's kind of you're alluding to that they use this. Well, Trump was the guy that put it out that he was getting arrested on Tuesday. That was the information everybody else was going on, and then no one showed up. Himself. I think you're right. I think no one showed up to go and protest at Mar-a-Lago or in front of the courthouse, and they're like, "Oh, let's fuck him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I still don't think he'll ever spend time in jail. I'd be okay with an ankle bracelet when he's golfing.
Here's the fucked up part. I was reading today that his Secret Service agent, this guy named Scott Curran, is his Secret Service guy. He's like his director of Secret Service he gets him for the rest of his life. By the way, our guys at Cheese Boutique put this together for us. This is Trump jumping the shark, literally jumping the shark. It's fucking funny. Lynn just put that in. Ryan Lindley stopping in just a couple of seconds to talk about the Cheese Boutique food truck takeover. But my point is this, is that you're right. I think they floated the trial balloon and no one showed up, and they're like, let's fuck him. And then he got fucked. And I was watching the news yesterday. I watched all of it too. I watched Fox News. I watched MSNBC. I watched CNN. I watched CBC. Nothing on CBC about the whole thing. But it was crazy because everybody was in disbelief. And to the point where they said, even Trump's people were like, we're shocked. Like, we can't believe this fucking actually happened. We thought he could outrun the sharks, but he couldn't. He didn't. There's no way. And it's going to get worse, like so much worse with the Georgia racketeering charges.
Yeah.
That's set to happen. Jack Smith is now talking to all of Trump's lawyers. The fucking cover of J6 has been blown open. Like, he is going to go to jail.
Yeah. See, I still don't think he'll ever spend any time behind bars. That doesn't mean I don't think he deserves it.
I didn't think he'd get indicted. Like, the first point of this was like, there's no grand jury that would ever indict a sitting president or former sitting president, right? Yeah. And they did. Like, that is fucking wild on the least most important aspects of any of the shit that he's up against. Like, all of it. This is the least most troubling issue that he's facing. The least. Money laundering.
The phone call one is
Georgia. Where there's 3 phone calls of him saying, "Help me steal the election." Yeah.
That one's going to burn him. Like, he's in major hot water over that one, is what I've been hearing. Dude, everyone was surprised at the timing of this one for a bunch of reasons. I'm not exactly sure, but that keeps coming up, that this one came down the pipe first. But then I have heard people talk about the judge, the one that you showed in the picture with Trump standing beside him with a bat.
Yeah, Alvin Bragg.
Yes, I have heard that people that know him are not surprised that this is happening and that he got this thing punched through because of how diligent he is and how conscientious he is to the word of law. And the other thing that they were saying was that Trump is screwed because of this guy's attention to detail. Like, everyone's been saying, a couple of the reports that I've seen, when they talk about this judge, they're like, this guy doesn't mess around. Like he is not going to be pushed over. And I think he might have been a Republican placement at one point. Or did I get that wrong?
No, I don't know. I know that the Republican Party, when they controlled the House and the Senate, they rammed Republican judges into every single position that they could. Yes, he did.
Because he knew he was going to be dealing with this stuff.
He knew that this was probably going to happen.
Presidency.
Exactly. So he tried to grease the track with some friendly guys, right? And these friendly guys are like, if you just stole like some scotch from the embassy in Kyiv or Turkey,
yeah,
it'd be a different story. This is very bad. We cannot not charge the guy. And I bet you they tried to figure out ways that they couldn't charge the guy. Like that's what I heard yesterday too. I did a light reading on this whole thing, and they're like, that grand jury probably looked for as many ways out of this as they could, to the point where they're like, there's too much. They brought in David Pecker from the National Enquirer on top of Michael Cohn, on top of guy, on top of guy, on top of guy. And they basically all said, yeah. Here's the correspondence. Here's the emails of him saying we got to shut Stormy Daniels up. Here's the hush money. Like, they have so much fucking evidence, and nobody knows what the evidence is other than the people who charged him and Donald Trump's lawyers. Donald Trump's lawyers are not saying anything because he's got a bunch of used car salesmen for lawyers. It's like Better Call Saul times 12. But at the same time, it is very fucking serious. You don't get charged. Like, they try to not charge people until they have like all kinds of evidence. And
they also really try not to charge rich people.
Yes, absolutely. Nonetheless, the face of the Republican Party, who controls all the money, all the mailing lists, all the stuff, all of it, it is fucking on. And if you didn't think it was on before, if you thought he was going to get away with this like everybody else did, the thing that I really love about this is that it's like, finally the world is right. Finally someone's getting consequences.
You better pump the brakes on that.
No, it's right, because what he did was wrong. He did a bunch of really terrible things, and those terrible things are being consequenced now. And that's the world the rest of us live in. We live in a world where we wear our consequences, where when we do something stupid, we either fall on our swords and learn from it, or get penalized and then fall on our swords and learn from it. This guy has done none of it, and it is an example to the rest of the world that you do not ever have to be accountable for anything you say or fucking do.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong about the jail thing too, because I think he deserves to spend time behind bars. But I don't have any faith in the American legal system, and I keep bringing up a couple of situations.
I think it's
OJ golf today.
Yeah, I know. And Bill
OJ
Cosby
golf today in Vegas.
Yeah,
and he
I know,
killed two people.
Dude,
Bill Cosby he raped 40 plus women over 30, 40 years. And he went to Starbucks for coffee in Philadelphia. And he's planning a tour. Like, it's not right. It's not right.
And that's why these consequences are so fucking important, and they're so important to the rest of us. Whether or not it's important to Democrats or Republicans, whether or not it's important. And I fucking listen, if you're the Conservative Party of Canada, if you're Pierre Poilievre, fucking pay attention, demagogue. Pay attention, because there is
Justin Trudeau is just as much of a crook as
but I'm talking about
PP.
The way he did it, the perception that everybody is on that team, the demagoguery, the threatening people, the emotional responses, eliciting emotional responses from people by scaring them and telling them that you're the only thing that stands between them and the other side. Dude, this Trump bio thing on his Truth Social, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. That is exactly what Pierre Poilievre's been saying. Now, listen, I'm not going to get into politics here, but if you're part of that crew of like demagoguery, where it's like, we need to run a fucking train on people's perception. We got to tell people the way it works. And then we need to fucking not be accountable for anything we say. This is a great day if you don't like that kind of person or that kind of politics. Liberal, conservative, doesn't matter. This is a great day for Americans. It was a great day yesterday for Canadians. It was a great day for everybody that values good things like the truth and accountability.
That I liked it. Yeah. I like the idea of him actually, answering for all the shitty things he's done. If I hear one more person on CNN or any other American news outlet that says anything like, our system's not perfect, but it works. No, it doesn't. Your fucking system doesn't work. Your legal system does not work. Please stop saying that. When you've got rich people and depending on the color of your skin, you can serve one crime. You can't say that. You cannot say that legal system works. It just doesn't.
No, it only works for the people they want it to work for. Right?
Exactly.
Same thing here in Canada.
I almost punched my TV last night. When the game was over, I flipped it on. Literally within 10 minutes, I heard some asshole on CNN panel going, we haven't got a perfect system, but it works. Look, why does it work?
6 years later.
What do you mean it works? This guy should have been in jail a
long time ago. Yeah,
in 1991.
I know, but there's so much around this. It's not just about what he did wrong. It's about penalizing him and the fallout from penalizing that guy, because it's not just about mobs blowing stuff up, maybe showing up with guns to a courthouse. It's not just about those things. It's about money. It's about espionage. It's about the relationships, because Republican and Democratic relationships at that level all somewhat touch each other. So there are people who are going to get caught up in this, right? Same with the Epstein stuff. There are different, very, very wealthy, very, very well-known individuals who are also stand to lose all kinds of stuff. And if you don't think the political and the elite institutions in the United States and Canada don't know that when they're dealing with things like this, or in Canada when they're dealing with things like Chinese election interference, or when they're dealing with espionage in this country, or SNC-Lavalin, dude, everything's connected through relationships, political, media, legal. It's all the same. And it all comes down to money. That's why we're probably never going to find out about Chinese election interference, or at least get the transparency we also crave in this country. Because
thank you for bringing up our problems in Canada, because we don't get to escape this conversation either.
No, to me, this is just about the kettling of an asshole, and I'm going to enjoy it, and there's Schadenfreude in it. But, I mean, this is it. Like, it is going to happen. And it's happening right now, which I'm really excited by.
But it's
you owe me $1,000, which is great. That's an extra $1,000 in my pocket from you, because we bet on this show that he is not
in jail.
Linz will tell us. Linz,
guys, I might be in trouble.
Why?
I just looked in my desk and I found 11,780 votes for Trump, and it was like in my desk the entire time. So he might be right.
Let me ask you a question. That's good. Does Lachlan not owe me $1,000 cash because he said Donald Trump on the podcast last year at some point? I can't remember it. I was looking for it yesterday because I need.
I think I bet my car.
We don't do well with betting on this show.
No, we're not. No.
If you remember, we bet somebody something before and it didn't end well. So
and I don't even think Bonzi actually bet anything. I think he got cornered into it. And then Dean wouldn't let it go. I think I said I would either bet my house or my car. $1,000 is a very random number for me.
No, I know it is, but you said $1,000. So if your car's worth more than $1,000, I'll take it.
It's not worth much more.
Because I said Donald Trump was going to get charged.
I just bought $1,000 scooter.
Well, send me your
scooter. You want my scooter?
Yeah, I do now. You owe me. Although, Linz, I gave him an out the other day. I said, listen, I'll let you off the $1,000. You got to retweet this Donald Trump story with a comment. Sure enough, he did. So I'll let you off it. But just for the record, I'm a better person than you are. We've established that already on this program.
Well, that comes up occasionally, and I would tend to agree with you.
What do you make of it,
Although
Linz?
every once in a while, you run away with the cock award on this show.
Flaming cock award.
You know what? I have to stuff him in a locker probably twice a day. That guy, Dean the cock. I got to put him in a locker. There are so many days.
I wish you wouldn't.
Say, oh fuck, I have to.
You don't do well with it though. You don't do well with the stuffing in the locker. Sometimes he gets out.
Yeah. Sometimes
Dean
he
pokes his head out.
Yeah. It's like lets him out of solitary confinement, and he's like, "Let's fuck stuff up for you and everyone else." Let's do it.
Linz, we had a Dean stoned and Locke drunk conversation the other night. And we got to go live. We got to go live with those, Dean.
Yes.
Do a Twitter Spaces where I smoke a bowl and you have like 12 beers.
I had about 10, like 8, 9, 10. And then I'm like, I'm calling Dean. I'm going to tell him why I don't want to be on the podcast with that dick spinning. And then we just got into it. And he was telling me some stories. I'm pretty good when I drink. I remember most things until a point. But I even said it. He told this one story about what he did to an old program director of his, and I just was like, oh my God, I can't believe you shelved that guy. You need to bring him back. I honestly wanted to fly to Toronto and hug him after he told me the story.
Well, I don't like being told what to do, and I had a boss that liked to tell me what to do, but he didn't know what he was doing either. And then he would try all these dumb things. Alan Cross would try all these dumb things to get our attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name, but his name's Alan
Don't want to
Cross.
say his name.
And I was talking to Lachlan about it because he calls me and bitches about his boss all the time. You can say you don't, but you do. And anyway, we're sitting there, we're just selling each other out now. Why not? So then anyway, he's like, he tells me a story. He's like, tells me a story about what he's dealing with. And I'm like, yeah, something similar like that. And I remember one time I got in trouble for using the word douchebag. And I got an email, and Alan's like, yeah, I got 143 complaints this morning on email about you.
No, it was Kings of Leon.
I'm not there yet.
There's a buildup here, Locke. Come on.
And I said, there's no way you got 143 complaints about me using the word douchebag. Save those. I want to see him as soon as I get upstairs. Came upstairs. He was hiding under his desk. Anyway, long story short, that wasn't the only issue. And then there was another time he said, because I called Kings of Leon Kings of Leon just for fun, because I'm like, because I don't care.
Right.
And he's like, you got all angry because I was using the wrong name. And he's like, you need to call him Kings of Leon. I go, now I'm not doing it ever. So suck it. And I'm going to do it like that. And I'm going to accentuate the Leon all the time. That's what I love to do.
You did.
Yeah.
I do remember.
And then there's another time he was angry because he thought we used the word twat on the radio, which we did not. And we were sitting down at his office, and he stood up and he started pulling on his hair like he was jumping up and down, and then started yelling at us, and then said, I'm leaving. And he slammed the door, and I sat there like this. And I burst out laughing as hard as I possibly could because I couldn't fucking believe what I saw. And he walked right back and he goes, guys, just want you to know that was a strategy. I wasn't really that mad. What do you think? Should I employ that strategy from now on? I go, dude, this is the last day I'm working with you. And I walk down to his boss's office and I go, him or me, I need to know in the next 10 minutes because I'm leaving in 15. And that weekend it all happened. Everybody got fired. Except me, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I can't be that guy anymore, right? Like, to me, that was like, when you're an employee somewhere, you toe the line. You don't mouth off to your boss. But when your boss mouths off to you and he's an effective boss, the only way I know how to deal with that is by saying to that guy, hey, by the way, I'm never having anything to do with you again, and we're going to deal with this right now. So come with me. Come with me. And that's what we did.
Can you do me a favor, though?
There's no way. Here's the thing. This is what I realized. There is no way I can ever work for anybody ever again. Now, that is a terrible thing to say. However, I don't need employment anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But I will say this. Having to work for someone else who clearly has no idea what they're doing, and that is a fucking epidemic, because what they do is, in your job and every job around the world, they generally put people in a position to manage you who cannot do what you can do, right? Those who cannot do, manage. That is how radio has worked for thousands of years, or as long as Marconi, since whenever he decided to invent the fucking radio. Everybody started going, you know what? I'm shit at this, but I really want to be around it, so I'm going to go manage it. And
can I also say this?
No, I'm not done. I'm flowing. And then nobody on the air and this is a radio conversation now. So we've gone from Donald Trump getting arrested into how much I hate radio and my bosses, but I didn't hate them all. I like 2 of them. Well, 1.5. Anyway, long story short, the truth of the matter is that if you're in that industry, A, it is dead, and B, the only people left that are managing you, by the way, there are not many of those people left either. They're there because they're running out the clock. And here's the fucking crazy part. They're also there because they're not as good at you. It's what you do. And that is the systemic issue with that industry. Anyway, are you happy I told the stories?
I am very happy. I'm very pleased. I want to make one request, and then I want to point something out. Okay. To be fair to people who manage radio and radio stations, quite often the type of people that end up doing what we do have an inability to effectively manage people. So there's that side of the equation. Plus, here's my request.
Yeah.
I would like to say this out loud. I think you should find a hat that you like that looks good on you. And you should keep that hat in your house, and you only wear it when you're going to be a cock.
My cock
That
hat.
Blue Jays hat with the splooge. The Sploo Jays.
Yes!
A Sploo Jays hat.
And then just so we know
how I'm feeling that day.
Yeah. So if we come on and Dean's wearing the cock hat, we can expect you to be a cock.
Yeah.
A little precursor, like a little warning.
I love this idea.
Well, then no one's gonna want to do a show with me if I'm in the cock hat.
I will.
And I'm in the. You will. You'll be
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm ready to roll.
I'll be
This is
banging
gonna
down the
great.
door. I'm here. It's my favorite, Dean.
Even if it's coming at me, I'd still want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
There's something special about
Dean the cock.
Yes.
Cock Dean.
Cock Dean.
Plus, I don't have a lot of. You could do that with me. Like,
what do you mean?
Could be an asshole to me because I have the type of personality where I can deal with it. I can absorb.
Well, you find it funny, generally speaking.
Yes,
like it's funny because
generally.
the other day we're on the show and we had Gibby on, John Gibbons, former manager of the Blue Jays. And Locke starts going, yeah, I watch a lot of baseball. And I fucking stopped him in the middle of the show. Like most people in that moment, like sports donkeys, what they would do, here's Cock Dean. Here he comes again. Great. Here we go. Most sports donkeys, like the sports heads, which is why I hated working at the Fan, by the way, because everybody there decided I would like to take myself seriously much more than I would like to be successful. And I'm like, I can't work with you dorks. You're super dorks. I can't work in a dork building with a bunch of super sports dorks.
Oh,
anyway.
And
to the point where, like, you know, if you called someone out on something, here's a story. Shai Davidi, Blue Jays reporter. So Mark Shapiro comes to town. He takes over the team. They do spring training. They do the free agency. And during free agency, they swung and missed on every free agent. Edwin left. Everybody left. Shai Davidi writes this article on behalf of the management group at Sportsnet. And the article is hilarious. He's like, the Blue Jays had a great free agent signing by staying the course. And they're going to make hay while the sun, like basically giving them an out and an excuse. So I go on the radio the next day. I go, that's bullshit. That is pure bullshit, pure spin, pure garbage. Nobody believes that. They struck out. Shai was doing the new management a favor, and that is what this company does. And I hung up my headphones like a genius. I'm like, didn't think anything of it. And I look up, and there's like 8 guys on that show. You only really needed 3, but there was like a coffee guy, there's a typesetting guy, there was another guy with a beanie in the corner going, what am I doing here? And they're all looking at me like this. And I'm like, what happened? What's wrong? Oh, you can't say stuff like that. Sure enough, as soon as I get off the air, I get hauled into a series of meetings where Shai Davidi undresses me on not 1 but 2 calls. So he took great pleasure in doing it. And I had to sit there like this. Yeah. Sorry. Yep. Totally get it. Yep. Totally get it. Yep. Okay. Hangs up the phone. Now I need to go to talk to another boss who's equally as angry at me because they really want to drive it home. And so I go into Scott Morzak. Fuck, let's just give all the names. I go into Scott Morzak, who's the VP of Sportsnet. He undresses me. Shai then gets on the phone again, and he starts giving me the gears. Now, he might be a nice guy. I didn't have a great experience with him. He's a tremendous reporter, great writer, loves the Blue Jays, all that other stuff. But I have the inability to go along with the company line. It is not in me. Can't do it. I cannot do it. And they knew that when they hired me. And so as time went on,
didn't they give you some rope?
No,
didn't they
nothing.
say we know who you are?
Yeah, when I first got hired, and the guy that hired me, this guy named Don Collins, great guy. Guy that hired me decided he was going to leave in 3 months and go to LA. And all the people that didn't want me hired then became the managers of that radio station. And then they're like, we need you to do this. And I'm like, just sports? And they're like, yeah, just sports. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not interested. That's not why he hired me. And they're like, well, you can do it or we're not going to pay you. And I'm like, well, I'll give it the old college try then is what I'll do. And I fucking hated it. Misery.
There was no college try.
I mailed it in. Fucking hated it. Hated every second.
That's too bad. That's what sports needs. Sports needs an honest
entertainment.
Voice.
Have you watched the Pat McAfee show? You guys watch Pat McAfee show? He's got this great little digital
once
project.
in a while, yeah.
Once in a blue
That's
moon.
what it should have been. That's what everybody should have done. That's what you should be doing now. Not doing it. Don't care. Doesn't bother me. I don't care.
What was the guy with the glasses?
Where?
Wore the sunglasses, retired a couple years
Oh,
ago.
McCown, Bob McCown.
McCown. He had a bit of that. Like he had a show. Like I loved. Grant brings this up all the time. He loved McCown because he wouldn't interview athletes because they were horrible.
It's true.
Doing a sports show. I refused to talk to the athletes.
Can you imagine?
I'll
talk to
He was a throwback. I spent some time with him when we were both on the beach right after I left the fan, and he got gassed a couple of years later, and so we started talking, and he's like, "Come on, he's a beautiful play. What a guy, great guy. Really enjoyed."
He made some money, eh?
Yeah, big dough. Yeah, and I remember sitting there talking to him, like, "So what are you gonna do?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't even care." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Dude, I'm approaching 70. I don't give a fuck anymore. Do you know how much money I've made in my career?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got an idea." I said, "But I don't want to ask." And then he told me, and I'm not going to tell you guys. And I'm like, "Why are you even in Canada?"
Why are you here?
I don't know.
You should be on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I told him. But now he's got the inability to not communicate. That's Bob. He fucking loves it. Loves it. Great golfer too. You seen?
Is he a good golfer?
Unbelievable.
At 70,
He's a scratch golfer. Yeah.
Blackie had good stories about him too. When we had
Blackie, Rod Black.
Yeah. He told us some good stories about it.
That's old school. That's that day and that time in radio where those guys were like celebrities. Like name me a radio celebrity in this country other than Lachlan Cross. I'll wait. There's not one.
Now
zero.
There's lots of guys across the country there.
None. Zero.
Are they famous though, Locke? Do you think like nationwide even?
Yeah, like personalities. Because this is the difference, and I will tell you this.
Garner.
This is the difference between media. No one
Garner's
knows who that guy is. In Edmonton, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, no, he's Western Canada, Dean. He's got a name. He's got name recognition.
Yeah, but not it's Edmonton. It's different. Toronto and then out that way is different than Edmonton and just over there. Like Bob McCown.
There's no more. I mean, Fearless Fred still. So Fearless Fred has a name.
Yeah.
But he also had a TV thing too, right? Like, and Fred had a really good run here in Edmonton. He had a great show in Edmonton. He had a great show in Winnipeg, and he made a mark. He made a mark in radio, and he's still doing it, right?
Yeah, I guess if they have like that cross of the the TV radio thing, I guess you could say that some of them would be sort of, but I still couldn't name you one. Like a
star, like in the States, Ryan Seacrest.
They don't have him.
Star. Ryan Seacrest, yeah. What's his name? John Tesh.
Star. Yeah. A lot of great piano music.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The problem with that now is that radio companies don't buy radio stations to get into radio, so they buy them as it's like a
infomercial.
It's an advertising tool for cell phones.
It's an advertising. And not only that, they also use it to for the losses to offset their earnings in their other companies.
Yeah.
And so they don't spend money to promote guys nationally, which is weird, right? Like, because
remember when John Gameshi was famous?
Oh my God,
Gameshi.
Yeah. Well,
there's
let's
another
talk
guy
about
I met
that.
like 8 times, and every time I met him, he's like, "How you doing, John Gameshi? Nice to meet you." And I remember like the 4th time I met him, I'm like, "Dude, I already you know exactly who I am, and I know who you are. We've met like 100 times, so stop big dicking me. There's no point, right? We're both we're just humans."
Was he a dick?
Huge,
I know,
massive.
Okay, I knew he was
Massive
difficult to work with.
Yeah.
But there's different stories about what he got charged with. Like, there's some that say that he shouldn't have, and some, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Anyway, dead industry. Bye. See you later. Thanks. It was a lot of fun. Not interested in it.
I'm still in that dead industry and doing quite well in it.
Speaking of industries, go ahead, Ryan. You want to say something?
Sorry, I was just gonna say it kills me about like the fan, like when you went to the fan, because of the way they hyped you when you got there, and then treated you absolutely opposite. Like last night, so Army Chris is in town for the food truck, which we're going to talk about, but he's here to do the camera work and stuff for us. And he knows you from here, but he didn't really know you on the radio here. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to pull up some old Edge stuff and play it for you. You can hear what the show was like. We were having a blast last night. We were laughing. And one thing that did come up was your old commercial for the Fan 590. when they first brought you on.
Uh-huh.
And it was more or less, oh yeah, it's Blundell. He's edgy. We're gonna let him say whatever he wants and blah blah blah. And then you go on, you say whatever you want, and you can't do that.
I changed right away. Yeah.
How dare you? So I actually pulled it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
Get
this
out of
didn't
here.
know we were
Did you
doing this.
honestly think that we were going to be talking about this today? Did you prepare for this?
No,
No.
I just pulled it right now. That's why you saw me down playing
oh.
with my shit. Yeah, well, I wasn't pulling my
I thought
yanks.
you were playing with your
Dinger.
Yeah, no. Here, I'll pop it in. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's fucking embarrassing. I still
It's
have
great.
those shoes though. They gave me all those clothes for free. That was cool. Yeah.
Like that's how
There you
they
go.
sold you. You know what I mean? And then you go
You know,
and you do.
I wish
exactly-
Michael Jackson would have started. We did. And then you would have got up and danced. That would have been way better. I should have been involved.
But that's how they sold you that way. And I just don't understand when somebody brings you on and hypes it up that you are going to be that guy that's going to go against the grain, talk against the man, I guess.
Yeah.
And give a different point of view and then give you shit for it. Like, come on.
Well, I got scared.
Oh,
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
understand why.
I came in hot. They got scared, and they're like, "You don't like it anymore." Like, it's like when you
Put him back in the
decide you're gonna
cage.
go to a rub and tug, and you get in there, and things start getting a little weird. Not that I've ever been, but I've heard these stories. Things get weird, and guys panic. They're like, "I gotta go. I can't be here anymore. My wife might find out that I'm here." That was the vibe that I got from them 3 months in, where I'm like, "How's it going?" And they're like, "You gotta stop. Everybody's freaking out." And I'm like, all right, whatever.
I can't believe they tried to make you work on sports. Knowing what I know about sports and sports donkeys and
Not a great fit.
constant
Gorfing.
to keep your parking
Bundling.
pass for the
Oh, yeah.
games.
It's a stroke job, man. Like,
Oh, my
that's
God,
what a lot
that
of people
is
don't
just-
realize about like on-air sports people is that they got two jobs: reporting the sport the way the company tells them to report it, and gorfing nuts.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They
All
got to
it
gorf the nuts of the people at the organization. They gorf the boss. They gorf everybody. And I was laughing the other day because like one of the dudes, Tim McCallum, works at the Fan, great guy.
Mhm.
Like wonderful guy. Tim and Sid, you guys. So that show just got put on the beach as well. And Tim is moving back to Sportsnet Central, which is great. And I was thinking about it. I thought to myself,
That
I'm
show
so
was not
happy.
the same without Sid. I'm sorry.
I liked it.
like Tim.
No, that was
Tim and
good. It was
Friends.
more my speed because it wasn't as performative. And I like Sid too, but it wasn't as performative, which I kind of
That show lost
Yeah.
everything when Sid walked away for me.
Well, that's why people like the things they like. But my point was this: is that that industry is changing so much and so fast
Mhm.
that I look at people getting moved around, and they're subject to the whims of an industry that we all know is not doing well. I'm fucking so grateful that I have nothing to do with that industry anymore, specifically in this city. It'd be different if it was somewhere else, but
Mhm.
because Toronto's a fucking head office city, no one stands a chance in this city
It's
to
a tough-
actually do a great
it's a
job,
tough-
the job that they think that they're going to be doing for somebody. So,
I
anyway,
honestly think what's going to happen, and I've made this prediction before. I think we're going to swing old school. I think what's going to happen is someone's going to take a chance. And I've told you, I said, the only way I would ever get back into a managerial position in radio would be if somebody gave me a stick and I was able to do whatever the hell I wanted with it. First off, you got to throw everything, all the rules, everything we thought worked in radio, chuck it out the window. I would put live jocks on. I don't even like talking about it because I honestly think someone's going to steal this idea. I would put live jocks on. You get a 4-hour shift. I'd put teams.
I don't
in
want you to
every-
talk about it either for other reasons. So we're aligned.
I would put teams on, fuck format. Jocks come into the room with the music they want to play. And I'm like, All right, here we go.
Yeah. Like we have a podcast on this network, and one of our newest podcasts as part of the network is those Canadian as fuck guys, the Canadian AF podcast from Revolution Radio, and they're doing pirate radio on the internet, and it's fantastic. The guy, it just 24/7 streaming.
Are they playing music?
Yeah, and they're not.
How are they getting away with that?
Because it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Used to work with him at the Edge. He's a fucking smart cat.
Yeah, super. I did a show last week, and I was on there for like 3 hours with those guys, and it was awesome. We had so much fun. Yeah. Because they don't actually put it out on YouTube. They put it out right directly through their website, so they play whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's smart.
And so, like, they offered me do you want a time slot and do a radio show on? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. So I'm gonna start doing a radio show on Revolution Radio at some point.
We were gonna launch Revolution Radio in May, so thanks for doing it in March, a little early.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. He didn't tell me that.
I don't care, I'm happy that we know.
The Revolution Radio thing I've heard of. Yeah, I've actually been approached by them to do music.
Pick the song, pick your 4 songs, and come and do the show. That's what I got to do, and it was a lot of fun. Like those guys
really cool. Started, they were hiring guys to do music, like from satellite locations and shit like that.
Oh, I think this might be.
It's evolved a little bit more now. They have hosts and whatnot. So
yeah. So I get to.
That was years ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with that.
Do it, dude. You should limp into it when you've got nothing going on other than a big giant food truck takeover tomorrow. So you're gonna have to clean your schedule a little bit. We're really excited for this, by the way. Cheese Boutique, getting sauce. Ryan Lindley's getting sauce. The launch of the podcast, April 1st and 2nd, starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. until sold out. It is at 45 Ripley Avenue. You can see here it says the Bodega, which is I believe the Bodega is the actual bakery, which is just like, I don't know, 15 steps to the left of the actual Cheese Boutique, which is 45 Ripley Street. This is 29 Ripley Avenue. And we're excited. Sourced from the Cheese Boutique. Afrim was going to join us. He's a little tied up right now. He's the principal at the Cheese Boutique, which isn't just a store, Ryan, as we pointed out. It's a whole street, both sides of the street, old school, cheese wheels flying down the street, people in the cheese hats. It's like going back in time. But the food truck takeover is this weekend, and we're really excited about it. Why don't you give us some of the details, and we'll go from there.
11 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, until we sell out, which will
truck.
From the sound of it, it's going to happen quick because there's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of people coming down. A lot of crier personalities are coming out on Saturday and Sunday, both to meet people and have a bite. We're doing the Diner Burger. We're doing the Hogtown Peameal Slider. We're doing Garpar fries with the actual cheese from the cheese vault that goes on top of that with the herbs.
That sounds so good.
It's going to be so tasty. And my wife made like literally 400 butter tarts to sell, the maple pecan butter tarts. She was still at it last night. She finally wrapped it up. And we're gonna go hard. We're going tonight. We're actually heading there tonight. The place is closed, and we're taking over the kitchen for prep tonight. And then we are hitting the road first thing in the morning to get things rolling for 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, it starts this weekend, 11 o'clock, 45 Ripley Avenue. Ryan Lindley's Getting Sauce. That is the launch of the new podcast, all about food, talking to people about food, recipes. If you're a farmer, doesn't matter. This is all about the story. And he's telling a story with food about the city of Toronto this weekend. It's an homage to Toronto. That's why we've got the Toronto Diner Burger, 80-20 mix of chuck and brisket. Yeah, that's right. I said brisket. Getting sauce, steak, and burger seasoning, served with all the fixing. You want to add some peameal, you can for an extra $3. Speaking of peameal, the Hogtown Slider. Yes, this is Hogtown for a reason. We made peameal bacon a thing. In-house cured peameal bacon slider with maple horseradish mustard, loaded up with cheese and fixings for an extra $3. Garpar fries. So now, this is what Ryan just talked about. Afrim Pristine is made sure that we're using premier Parmigiano, garlic Parmigiano from the cheese vault, and it's got a little herb dusting, also triple cooked. Now, I would love to tell you I know what that means, but I don't, so I'm going to ask you in just a second. And of course, Mrs. Lindley's famous homemade butter tarts, maple pecan or nut free, $2 each, 10 for $6. Very limited run of Ryan Lindley's Getting Sauce, and steak and burger seasoning will be there. And by the way, that is all I use because Ryan was kind enough to drop me off a big bag of it last year, like a fucking massive bag of it. And it goes on everything. I don't even just, by the way, Ryan, I don't even just put it on beef. I put it on pork.
Chicken.
I'll put it on chicken.
Yep.
But then he's also got the pork seasoning. And so the Getting Sauce brand is now being born, and you get to be a part of it by trying some great food down at the Cheese Boutique this weekend. Really excited for you, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And the fries, that's actually a Michelin star restaurant in the UK. It's inspired a chip recipe by them. So
what's triple cooked? What is triple cooked? Explain that.
You cut your fries and then you boil them, right, to the point where they're half cooked. You know, like,
al dente.
Yeah, right. You pull them and you let them. When you take them out, you know how they steam, like they steam really, really good, and then
that's right.
you feel them; they feel dry after they cool off.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to pull the moisture out of a potato because they're full of moisture. But the more you pull out, the crunchier the fry will be when you cook it. So you boil them, you pull them out, you let them cool on their own. You don't put them in the fridge. You let them sit at room temperature and just evaporate. Then you dunk them into a fryer, right? And you put them in the fryer at, say, about 340. And you half cook them in the fryer at 340. You pull them, again, crank the heat on the fryer up to 375. Wait till it heats up, and then you dunk them for a last cook. And that's what gets them super, super crispy. Because when you pull them and you're waiting for that fryer to heat back up, again, it's doing is it's expelling moisture out of the potato. So you're just trying to get as much water out as you can to make them the crispiest fries you can. So, and that's from a Michelin star awarded restaurant in the UK. So,
so this is Michelin star food. You got an executive Red Seal executive chef coming in for this. His name's Chris Morrison. Great dude. Chris Morrison. He's coming in for this. Ryan is a pit master. This is going to be a great weekend. So if you're looking for actually, in the food prices that you put on this are incredibly fucking reasonable too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we didn't want family.
Yeah, we didn't want to take a chunk out of people. We knew that we're not paying for staff. We're not paying for a brick and mortar restaurant. So we're like, let's make it reasonable. When's the last time you were able to go in and get a burger for that, like a homemade good burger for $13? You just can't do it. So we're doing it, and we're going to give it back just as a thank you. And here's our podcast. Please watch. You know, one of those.
Can I ask you a question, Linz?
Yes, sir.
Are you nervous? Because I know. Listen, when you're cooking at home and you're preparing a meal for you and Ashley, I'm sure it's always great. You're a good cook. Everyone I talk to. And you even prepared a meal for me when we did that takeover for the full volume.
Oh yeah, the eggs. And
I was just like,
when you were hungry,
insane. You made me eggs. Like it was just like you made me an omelet or something. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like I know you're a good cook, but there's this. I worked in restaurants for a long time. There's good cooks, and then there's cooks that can cook in a restaurant. Are you a little bit nervous about that? Because that's a different ball game.
It's a different gear. Absolutely. And I was, and that's why I called my brother-in-law, who is the executive Red Seal chef. And I said, I need your help. Can you come? And he's like, absolutely. So he dropped everything to make sure he's there. He's coming tonight with us to go do prep, and he'll be there on the truck with us Saturday and Sunday to just to help the flow, because he's the guy that knows how to do good food in big portions. Like he catered our wedding all by himself. Like when Ashley and I got married, we asked him, will you cook? And he's like, absolutely. That was his gift to us. He was the cook. And it was fantastic. So I know if it would have been just me, I'd have been shitting my pants, and it would have been, absolutely. I would have been, I probably would have, I don't know, stumbled is the word, but it would have been a hard go. But we're not cooking fucking.
You've kept it simple.
Yeah, it's a very easy and a very manageable menu, right? So it's just a matter of the most is the prep. The prep is the biggest. The execution of the cook, that'll be fine. Like we'll get the fries cut tonight. We'll get all the veggies for the toppings. All that shit's going to happen tonight. And then tomorrow it's just a matter of throwing it on the grill and getting it out the window.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. I'm also
literally out the window of the food truck.
The truck. Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to bring, so we've got listeners from all over.
So clever if you say out the window when you're putting them out the window.
Right.
That's really clever. That's really well done. I like that.
Some might suggest that's a pun.
Yeah. Very funny of you.
A little punny.
Really clever.
We got listeners and viewers and fans of our shows from all across the network and all across Ontario that are coming. They've reached out and they're bringing gifts. They're bringing things. And one of those things that happens to
Someone
be
say gift.
Yeah, they're bringing like food, they're bringing stuff, they're bringing whatever, right? I think somebody's bringing weed. I was howling. I'm like, okay, sure, come out. Let's have a great time.
That'll be a way to get me out. Yep.
Right? So I'm going to bring my.
You need to go and you need to have one of everything, Dean.
I'm going to
videotape it.
Yeah,
and I need to see somebody that I like eating it.
Yeah,
because I can't fucking go.
Dude, it's a company event, and I'm going to make sure that we get some nice pictures, and you can see that we're enjoying ourselves. Marianne Iveson is coming in from Ottawa for the Let's Take This Outside podcast. She's coming through for it. Ray Rout from Who's Got Next.
Why is she going? She's a vegan. Here. She's just going to ruin it.
No, she's not a vegan. She loves meat. So she said she loves meat, loves bacon. Okay. I'm like, yeah, you come down. Let's have some fun.
She wants to eat outside, so we're going to let her eat outside because she likes doing things outside.
Yeah, she loves being outside.
Yeah. Ray
more
Rout's
than anybody
coming.
I've ever met in my life. Yeah, Ray's coming. He hates being outside, but he's going to be outside.
I fucking love Ray.
That's a feud, and they're having a feud, Ray and Marianne, and they're going to fight. I know there's going to be a scrap. It's going to be so
what are they
great.
fighting about? This
is who likes to because Ray mocks her all the time because she's always outside and Ray's never outside, and then he'll do a video of him sitting on the steps going, "Hey, look at me having a smoke outside. What's up?" It's a lot of fun. And she's like, "That's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be active." And he's like, "Look at me taking a smoke. That's me being active. It's a lot of fun. It's like podcast wars, cheesy but cute." Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah, so I think they're going to
usually
fight.
I'm the one everyone's fighting with. So this is refreshing.
He's branched his fighting out with my wife. He actually tried to cancel my wife on Twitter this week, which was great. So Ashley's got a few words for him, but he's also going to be doing all of our roaming interviewing and stuff as well.
See, Ray's the guy that never gave up on the cock. Like he hung on to it. He hung on to being a cock, which is good.
Dude, he's like the nicest. No, he's the nicest person I've ever met. Well, then that means I'm going to have to never be a dick because Ray is never a dick. Unless, of course, you piss him off or you get in between him and his kids, then he'll kill you.
Yeah.
He will literally take you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he will enjoy it probably. He's a scary individual, but he's like one of the nicest individuals you're like.
He's a
good guy, but occasionally, if he needs to, he can step up to the cock plate.
Yeah,
and he's good at it. Right?
Step up to the cock plate
and swing that big dick.
Hey, speaking of the cock plate, by the way, okay, let's just wrap this up. Food truck this weekend, Takeover, Getting Sauce, Ryan Lindley. 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. till sold out. Make sure you get there. It will be limited by items according to the first day. And of course, Sunday we'll be back 11 o'clock again. So there may be some more there, but until it's sold out. So get down there. It's a very well priced way for you to feed your family. It's going to be a lot of fun. Little food homage to the beautiful city of Toronto, this greater Toronto area that we live in. That's where all the food comes from. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm bringing
Yeah.
Thanks, man. What I was going to say is I'm because of all those people saying they're bringing things. One of them was like a venison sausage thing. So I might actually bring a barbecue with me as well and do a small cook on the side of what we're already doing.
Oh,
and, just for some fun.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it this weekend. Ripley Cheese, 45 Ripley Avenue Cheese Boutique will be there tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock. Would love for you to join us and be first in line so you can get a delicious diner burger, peameal slider, Garpar fries, and Ashley's butter tarts, including nut-free. I don't know how you're going to do nut-free maple pecan because it's literally in the title, but
it's just maple. There's no.
Oh, it's just maple.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, people that are worried about the weather, I've heard a lot of because the weather is looking a little iffy.
It's gonna be great.
Don't worry about it because it's going to be 14 degrees and Cheese Boutique is providing us with 4 huge ass tents to go in that alleyway.
Get out of here.
So the tables and chairs will be under the tents and so you won't get wet. You'll be fine. Just come out.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. So they're pulling out all the stops for us, man.
Right.
They're a great little organization. I love those.
Yeah, they
guys.
are. Yeah,
Linz,
awesome.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks,
me
buddy.
Too.
You did a great job. The artwork, the menu, everything. There's a lot of thought to this.
That's actually
really,
Alex.
I'm really proud of you, man.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, no, we're super
It's
stoked.
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I wish you were here. It would have been great if you could have made it out. But
you should have invited me.
You knew it. We've been talking about this for months.
He wouldn't have come.
I know
he wouldn't have come. He's that guy that gets pissy that he doesn't get an invite, and then you invite him somewhere. He's that guy. By the way, that's me too. But he's the guy.
That's why I was yelling at you to go because I know you're like me.
I didn't get invited.
I just like
okay, I'm inviting you, And then you get to a point where you're like, I didn't want to go anyway. And then you got to break it to him. I wasn't going anyway. I just wanted to be invited.
I just like to have the option to refuse. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's Lachlan.
That's him. That's him. It's fucking and he gets bitter about not being invited to places too. And then when you're like,
No,
okay,
I
dude,
don't.
yeah, you do. You get bitter.
I
Where you're
like
like, no, you
I
get
like-
bitter about that kind of stuff. And then when someone's like, okay, well, let's include Lachlan, you're like, well, now I don't want to go. You're like, well, why would you bring it up in the first place?
Okay, this is sounding a lot like me, so I'm annoyed.
It does, because it is you. It's literally you. You owe me $1,000 too. You don't remember that either, but you do.
I don't remember betting.
No.
I remember telling you I'd give you my
Rookie,
car,
pull the
but
clip.
I don't remember
Rook.
the cash. It's not like me to offer up something that I care about, money.
I'm sad today as we
Why?
head into the weekend. Tomorrow's a big day for
April
people
Fool's
like
Day?
me, important people like me.
Oh,
Tomorrow's a big day.
okay.
If you're important like I am,
Mhm.
and if you got a legacy blue check mark on Twitter, meaning like a real check mark back when like Twitter was like, this person's important, what they say is important, or this person's the real deal, and there are so many people that want to be this person that we need to
Right.
give this person a blue check mark. That's what I had. I
Mhm.
had one of those for several years because
Mm-hmm.
I was important.
You're the big wheel down at the cracker factory.
Big swinging dick in the cracker factory. So no longer tomorrow. Everybody's on the same footing.
Are
I'm
you
a
losing
little upset by it. No, Elon Musk is finally getting rid of everybody's blue check mark account. And if you don't pay for it, you don't get it. Now, this is very interesting. Matt Binder is a tech reporter for TechCrunch. Here's the plan. This is what Elon plans on doing. This is tomorrow. If you have a Twitter account, get ready. This is happening tomorrow. Twitter plans to remove legacy verification, solely promoting blue subscribers. So what does that mean? If you don't pay for it, you're not getting promoted. You just kind of float in the Twitter sphere, if you will.
Right.
Subscribers on user feeds. Here's new Twitter Blue data. 50% of all paying subs have less than 1,000 followers. Around
Really?
18,000 have less than 100. Thousands have 0. This is from Mashable, not TechCrunch. Researcher Travis Brown, who's been tracking Twitter Blue's subscription since January when Elon decided that everybody had to pay for that fucking humdinger of a check mark.
Mhm.
He says half of all users that subscribe to Twitter Blue in that time frame have less than 1,000 followers. That's 220,132 paying subscribers. So for the past 3 months, like 18 to 20 million people on this bad
That's a lot
boy
of
a
money.
day, 220,000. Not a lot. Actually, that's abysmal. Abysmal.
Compared to
Furthermore-
$40 billion for the company.
Furthermore, 78,059 paying Twitter Blue subscribers have less than 100 users following their accounts. That's 17.6% of all Twitter Blue subscribers. Breaking down follower accounts even further, according to Mashable, there are 2,270 people that pay for Twitter Blue subscribers who are paying for that check mark, who have a grand total of 0 followers. What does that mean? Let me
They pay-
boil it down to you. It's
they
called
pay in rubles.
popularizing. Yeah, exactly. What he's done is he's effectively turned Twitter into a pay-per-play organization that incentivizes bots. Bots are still allowed to buy check marks. Anybody can. And so what he's doing is creating a silo just for bots and people who are assholes on Twitter.
Mhm.
That's the asshole echelon right there. You know how we have a victim industry running around the country, right? We can identify who those people are. The victim industry is going to take over the blue checkmark brigade, and only those people will be promoted, amplified, or have the ability to monetize what they're doing and have access to all the other bells and whistles, which nobody has.
This is
Nobody matters.
crazy.
You won't be, and if you don't have a blue check mark, here's a fucking great part. You can't vote in polls. You can't do community notes, which is ridiculous. I have community notes. I never use it. It's so
Mhm.
stupid. You can't do anything functionally other than post something, and that will be a 240 character limit. and your algorithm basically gets delisted. Your stuff, if you don't pay for it, gets delisted, and you float around in virtual anonymity, no matter how many people followed you, no matter who you are, unless you give him $8 to $15 a month, depending on when he drops his pants for this. Twitter's dead. This is it. It will be dead technology. It is toast. Like that is not an effective way to do it. Businesses, this is a great part. So we've got DeanBlundell.com, or which is now crier.co. We've got two accounts. One is mine at its Dean Blundell, which you can see on the screen here, right?
Yep.
As a legacy verified account, has been for about 10 years. That goes away tomorrow. We had to purchase Twitter Blue 3 months ago because we put out videos that are much longer than most people, right? Whether they be promos, whether they be actual podcasts, we needed that ability to do it. If we didn't have it, I would never pay for it. It's ridiculous. Now, businesses, they've asked us, and this is fucking wild. I should have actually got the tweet. We've been asked if my account is our company account, because what Twitter wants to do is force anybody that has a blue check mark that operates on behalf of their company to pay those company verification fees.
It's like $100 a month, isn't it, or something?
It's $1,000 a year, and you get dinged once.
Oh my God.
$1,000. So now I'm trying to hide the fact that we use this as a company account. Even though I shouldn't be talking about it, because I don't want to pay any more than I don't even fucking know what we pay for it.
Hold on, back up.
Yeah.
You lost me. What's the $1,000 for?
Check marks. If you want a check mark
for
as
your
a business,
account.
it's $1,000. As a person, it's
why?
$84.
But I thought it was $8 a month. Why is it $1,000
for a human? For like a singular account.
For a business, it's more.
It's $1,000.
Yeah. So if you look at like Miller Lite Canada yesterday, I was dealing with John Gibby's tweet about him barbecuing, and Miller sponsors him. And Miller Lite Canada has a yellow, like a gold check mark, because it's a business account. That you have to pay $1,000 a year for now. That's insane.
I
just have access. Yeah, just have access. Now, what is the overall theme here? If you're like, what is Elon doing? Or the accounts and the verification and taking legacy accounts. Here's what he's doing. He's literally turning it into a vending machine of money. That's his goal. His goal is to make people need this so bad that they can't afford to not pay for a verified check mark. He thinks everybody should pay for this. It's not the only guy. Mark Zuckerberg, he now has introduced pay for verification on Instagram. So IG has the exact same model. They're doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. So when you
said it, like I said it when it happened.
We grew up in the era of this social media being free. Think of it like an app. You remember when they would put out apps like the Calm app, where they're like, come and meditate with us. It's a lot of fun. And then they get to a certain point and they shut it off, because that was the goal the entire time anyway. They wanted to make you pay for it. That is what social media is going to become. Everybody on this planet is going to have to pay to be on Facebook. You're going to have to pay to be on Instagram, Snapchat. I don't even know what the fuck's going on with TikTok and Twitter. Those will all be pay for play. And it does a couple of things, right? Some accountability, because you don't want to lose something that you're paying for. So I kind of get that. I get that part of it. How he is doing it is incredibly wrong.
I don't like it, but it makes sense to me.
But it kind of, like, in a lot of people get upset because you got this thing for free for years, right? Especially the people that got it for free, drove a lot of business through it. I kind of get it.
Yeah, the
you
dealer's
might not like it.
Dealer's done giving out samples. Yeah, the dealer's done with the samples. It's time to pay the piper.
Bingo. Exactly.
Shit. Yeah, because we're all hooked. Everybody's hooked on it. Everybody's hooked on some sort of form of social media. I don't care who.
I'll be able to let go of Facebook.
Hey, listen, knock it all you want, but they hold 55% of the market share of users on social media. There are more dead people. Listen, there's more dead people on Facebook than there are alive people on Twitter.
I went through my Facebook on the weekend.
True.
That's a true thing.
I went through my Facebook account on the weekend, and I looked up, like, how do you tell if you got a dead account? And I went through, and I actually recognized about 8 people that had died that I knew of that were dead, based on just like people letting me know, hey, by the way, hey, Locke, just so you know, Porno Bill died. And I'm still following Porno Bill. Right? Like, I knew of 8 people who had passed away.
Oh yeah.
It's the only place it's the only place I find out about people in my life that I'm like acquainted with when they die. It's like, oh, that guy died. Oh shit, weird. You know, like it's literally the only.
I used to go. I had I still have a Facebook account. It's just so I can look at Facebook, right? And when you're gonna peel videos off and you're doing a post at crier.co. So at Crier Media, what we do is we like to have access to everything, and then if there's something on a platform that we need to be able to show you, we need an account for that. Everybody knows how it works.
Right.
I don't need to explain it. And it was fascinating because I went and logged into it the other day because I was trying to pull a video off of Facebook for a post, and I never check it, like ever.
Mhm.
And I couldn't, I saw a bunch of people that I knew that wanted to be my friend or like had asked me to be my friend who had found me. And I don't even know how they found me. And I'm like, this is creepy as fuck because I don't even have my fucking name on it.
Yeah. It's like
I
weird.
have no idea. And everybody I know that has Facebook all says the same thing to me. We wish we never would have gotten it. Now we can't get out. Now the same thing with TikTok because they're thinking of getting rid of TikTok in the United States and Canada. There are people who are going to lose their livelihoods because of this. And I don't mean just people at TikTok. I mean people that use it for business. So
influencers
you're going to
and
start paying or you're going to be fucked.
That'll be a sad
line.
day when the influencers start losing money.
Right. That's what I thought.
What will Charlie D'Amelio do? Oh,
I'll lose.
What will those people do? Oh, not interested. Anyway, so that's it.
Violins out.
Yep. TikTok Twitter is done tomorrow. All your check marks will be gone, and I could give a flying fuck. Don't care.
The thing is, you still need traffic, right? You still need people engaged in this. So it's a fine line. We're reaching this point with all of these services that we just take for granted, like where now these companies are trying to monetize it, or they're trying to catch up on the loopholes people have found to, like Netflix. That is not going well for Netflix. I don't.
The password shit. Well, that's what happens anytime you change the rules on anybody midstream. Like if you're a parent, right? You're a parent, Locke. You're a parent, Rye.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that you can't do with your kids. It's change the rules midstream.
Ding,
right? Because they get fucking crazy. Yeah. Now, I want you to look at the people that live on Netflix, live on Facebook, live on Twitter, and consider their maladies. Consider their psychopathy, people that are always on it. Imagine taking it away from them or changing the rules on them midstream. These people are literally under the impression that it should be free and it's theirs like it's everybody else's. These are private companies or publicly traded companies that are owned by individuals that set the rules, and the rules are changing. And if you don't want to be part of those rules, you don't have to pay for it. But you have to accept that. That's the part that drives me fucking crazy when I watch people go, Elon needs to be taken out. He's a danger. Now I'm not going to be my tweet. No one's going to see my tweets. And I'm like, because they changed the rules and they're allowed to. You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But you have to eat it like everybody else does because that's where we live.
Yeah. It's an option. You're not forced to be on any of these things. We choose to be on these things. We choose to.
And when you tick that box that says, I agree to the terms of service in this agreement, and it's like 5,000 miles at the bottom of the thing you agreed to. And in that agreement, you know what it says? We can change the rules at any fucking time.
This is our place. If you don't, it's like inviting, you go to somebody's house and you don't like the color of their wallpaper, you can leave. It's the same as here.
It doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah. The police are here apparently. Are you okay? The technical people are getting things ready for our trip to Toronto. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the cops are at your house.
I know. That's what I'm saying. What the hell's going
drinking
on
and podcasting again, aren't you? There you go.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny that people, it's that self-entitlement. Like we have that sense of entitlement when it comes to.
Well, we're also really fucking dumb. Like that's part of it, right? There are a lot of really stupid people that are like, I have to tell you something. This is unfair, and it's unfair because no, it's not unfair. When you signed up for it, it became unfair, and you should have known it was unfair from the second you go. I agree. Yeah, same thing. You know how much money they've made in 3 months selling Twitter Blue memberships? By the way, Twitter Blue subscriptions. 3 months, paid $44 billion. $44 billion.
Yeah.
Thought he's going to make like $3 billion. He literally did. He's like, people are going to give me $3 billion for this.
Oh, I
Good
love
news.
this.
11 million made in 3 months.
Oh, there's that.
So if you bought
That's
Twitter
still
for
$11
$44
million I don't have.
It's true. Same here. But
That's
if you think of it from a growth perspective, it'll only take them like 7,000 years to pay it off. It's fine.
It's not good. Yeah. And here's the other thing. They just did, like, for taxes, you got to do a valuation for your company. You know what Twitter's value is today?
Oh my God.
This is Elon Musk wishful thinking, by the way.
20.
'Cause he was exactly 20 billion.
It's half. It's
He's
half
more
what he
than
paid
half.
for it.
60% in 3 months.
60% less.
Wow.
He lost $24 billion in 3
Wow.
months. But the good
Couldn't
news
have happened
is,
to a nicer guy.
I know, I feel the same way. The good news is he made 11 million in the last 3 months. So
Oh, good.
The interesting thing about the the AI conversation and Elon Musk, have you guys been following that?
yeah, he signed an agreement with Steve Wozniak, one of the principals at Apple. About 1,000 leaders in the tech community signed an agreement that said we need to stop with artificial intelligence because we're going to fuck us. And
So-
Elon signed it.
So Elon signed it, and then his name is the one that ends up being floated out as the proponent for the art, sort of the ringleader. And I don't think he is, but everyone knows Elon Musk, so he signs it. And he says, "Yes, this is a good idea. We need to take a break from AI. It's getting out of hand. We're losing control of this. We need to take a step back and rethink what we've done."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Elon Musk, fuck off. It's a joke, right? So we've all discredited the attempt, but there's a legitimate concern from numerous people within the tech world about AI, because what's happening right now is they've created these algorithms that are actually doing their own thing. And there's these people that created them that now have thrown it out into the stratosphere, and they're watching it, and things are changing and they don't understand what's going on. And so they're freaking out. They're like,
Oh, was that when the Twitter source code was leaked last week?
no, but here's the other problem with it. So this is actually a movie script. And so no one is actually taking it seriously in the real world. No one is paying any attention to it because this is Terminator. And then the other problem with it is this is the movie Terminator. Then the other problem is it's Elon Musk, and everybody thinks he's a douchebag. And so everyone's like, it's Elon Musk. And then the other thing that they're doing is there's companies competing with Elon Musk on the AI front. And so now everyone goes, oh, he's just doing this because he wants to slow down his competitors. So and you know what's going to happen is, honestly, we're going to have robots coming into our homes and killing us all in 6 months. Because we're at that point right now.
Yeah.
Like, your Roomba is going to fuck you up here soon, and we're all in trouble.
Yep.
And this is all being planned by, I think, the robots and AI.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think your vacuum cleaner is going to kill you when you come home tomorrow?
Pretty soon.
I
No.
love you so much.
No,
Pretty
it's not.
soon.
No,
Yeah.
that's not happening.
They're
But
gonna
what they are upset with is that it's helping the world cheat at everything. Like, I was talking to my son the
Yeah.
other day, and he's like, we just had our first person at school get in trouble for using Chat GPT to write a fucking essay. And I'm
Yep.
like, no way. Seriously. How'd they find out? She's like, I don't know. I think it was the fact that the kid had like a 12 average and he got a 98 on an essay. And I'm like,
well, no,
that makes sense.
Chat GPT and Jasper, those companies have actually built detection software for universities and schools for teachers to use to run their essays through it to detect if it was actually written by one of their services.
Yeah.
So, and people don't realize when they're signing up for, again, we're not reading the fine print. It says in those services, we do have, just so you know, do not use this to plagiarize. Do not use it to do what these kids are doing. We have given your teachers ways to figure it out. So fucking don't try it, because they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's the chickens are coming home to roost. I just thought it was odd, because it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago I was reading an article about Elon Musk was talking about investing in because they were talking about like how
Must be pissed about the Neuralink thing too. If he's going to pause AI, he's killed like 8 million pigs trying to fucking make them smarter with a fucking computer chip.
Send them our way.
Like,
We need them for getting
Let's
sauce.
take a break on this. Let's take a break, dude. You killed all the pigs trying to fucking figure this out.
I'll make roasts out of it. Bring them over. We'll put them on the smoker. No, he was talking about. I guess there was an analysis of the wording and the verbiage that's being used in these AI programs, and saying how they're left leaning. Like it's a very left leaning kind of, and like people are politicizing AI now, which is great. So Musk was talking about, I thought, investing in a way to centrist the AI algorithms to the way they write. I'm like, how does a robot? They don't vote. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, it's just the English language, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can see a robot being too woke.
Yeah, I
Makes
just don't.
sense to me.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying, right? Because
robots.
Well, if you ask ChatGPT to write you a story about, say, gun control in America, it'll
in the tone of Don Cherry.
Yeah, it'll pump out.
Do it.
It'll pump out facts that are in favor of gun control. And it's true. So I get it where there's, but it's usually the right facts. At least it's facts. It's not opinion, right? So maybe they should be looking at it going, well, because the robots are telling you it's the fucking truth, because they're the ones out there doing the research and you're not. Here you go. It's not because they're left leaning. It's because it's actual fucking truth.
Yeah, but there's no way to tell if not
how do
like
you
whoever
arrive there.
Yeah, it's some. Listen, the people that are developing like AI are developing AI for their culture, right? So what they would do is, depending on who developed the AI, their relationships, maybe someone who got in the back end who's like, you should really do this thing where it never says anything bad about Donald Trump, or you should really put some source code in there that'll never say anything bad about. Sure, maybe, I guess. I haven't seen it, but I have definitely tried to, like, I've taken ChatGPT for a ride.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, write this terrible thing for me. And it's like, we're not comfortable doing that. Like, ChatGPT will tell you this is not what we were designed for when you start writing some of that stuff out. And I've asked for very biased things just to see how biased it would be, because I've seen those tweets where it's like, ChatGPT is fucking left-wing source code. Fuck this place. But I've also seen everybody go, ChatGPT is all about the hard right and the fascists are allowed to fuck. And I'm like, no. You can tell it to do
just
whatever
how you
it wants. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just you know what it is?
I love how you're using AI to justify your left-leaning political agenda, Linz.
No, I'm not. I swear to God.
You just did.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it. It's not me. I was telling you about what I was reading.
Yeah, he's talking about what everybody is saying about it, because everybody is trying to horse collar ChatGPT or AI into
if I asked the damn
woke,
thing to write a story about my nuts, it would tell me that it would write a story about my nuts. It doesn't.
It won't do it.
It won't?
No, it won't do. It won't do shit like that. Like, it won't do risque
I
stuff.
bet you I could make it.
I don't know. I know the only thing I know about not ChatGPT, but they actually do have these AI services, which creep me the fuck right out, that I saw, where you could have like a virtual girlfriend or boyfriend on your phone, and it'll text you, and you can talk back, and it'll talk to you and everything else. And it used to do sexting. You could sext with this fucking thing, and then all of a sudden they took it away. They said, you know what, you can have a companion, but we're not going to do any of the X-rated stuff anymore. Dude, there's a Reddit article, like there's a Reddit subgroup or whatever. People were committing suicide because they couldn't, they were so attached to this fucking thing. It was a Chinese or Japanese thing. They literally, people like, that's it, I'm fucking out, and like offing themselves because their fake girlfriend was no longer available to talk dirty to it through its phone. We read the article last month. It was insane. Google it. It's
I'm looking at it now. The article is chatbot AI that promoted its sexting services was recently updated to remove all erotic content. Yeah. Users who have purchased a lifetime membership rage against the developer. Some people are so fucking horny, aren't they? I got to have this for the rest of my life. I just love reading horny texts, and I love sending them as well. Yeah. And this way they're thinking no one hurts it. So 2 weeks ago, main creator of this sexting AI chatbot called Replica with a K.
That's the one.
Got rid of all the erotic sexting services. Users have grown so attached to AI. Many view the Replica as their wife, husband, or spouse. dedicated user base purchased lifetime memberships costing them $60 to $80 a year rather, allowing them to access to spicy selfies, erotic role play, among other features. So I guess the idea behind this was, hey, listen, pervs.
So they took it away and these people started killing themselves?
Yeah, there's people that actually committed to there's a Reddit thread of people showing posts from people's social media accounts saying that they were ending it because they lost their ability to sext with the AI robot.
I'm going to choose to not say anything right now for the sake of the longevity of this podcast on YouTube.
2023, folks. This is where we are.
Can I decode what I think you might want to say here? I think what you might want to say is that if that is the case,
yep.
So be it.
But you know what? At the same time, though, maybe it was culling somebody that could have been a fucking mass shooter. Maybe that was calming him down. He had a girlfriend now. I gotta be honest
with you. If the way that you like to get off is sexting a robot in the cloud,
and we lose you,
I have to say this out loud. Well,
wow.
It didn't ruin my weekend to hear the news.
I'm saying maybe it quelled some furious.
Let me say this:
incels,
if I found out, Linz, this is the truth. If I found out you committed Harry Carey after they deleted this app,
make sure you get it on tape, Linz.
And I knew you. It was like, and I was talking to your beautiful wife, and I'm like, what happened? He's like, it was the chat sex spot.
It's a sex spot.
He didn't want to live anymore.
Spot.
I'd be like this. This is what I would do. I go, okay, I'm Ash. Sorry, I am writing an article about this, and I am mocking the life of Ryan Lindley because
why did it become me?
Well, I don't know.
Just fucking brought the story up,
and
Ashley, you brought the story up probably because you're pissed that you can't do it anymore.
Well, I can't cyber fuck Alicia anymore, and you guys got to make fun of me.
Yeah,
and I'll buy some more of your butter tarts, Ashley.
Yeah. Buy your butter tarts.
Support my wife through butter tarts.
Yeah. Fascinating. Isn't that? I learned something today. I had no idea that Chat GPT was.
I will never use this, by the way.
Capable of the horny text.
I will never use AI to write anything or do anything. I'm sorry, I can't. I'll die before.
We use it.
How's your book?
Yeah.
No, the book's coming along.
Use it for your
9
book.
pages.
I do have 9 pages.
I know. You were on 8 last week and the week before. Now you're up to 9.
It's almost a pamphlet. Good for you.
It's going. I'm having trouble getting past the telling stories about my life and getting into what the purpose of the book is.
Do me a favor. Tell Linz the title of the book.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to open up.
You don't, dude, you know the title off by heart. You don't need to open up the file about your book. What is the working title of
Quick
the book?
story?
Not a quick story. I just want to know what the working title of the book is.
Actually, hold on. Can I use that?
Yeah, I thought maybe the title was Quick Story. That's why I was asking.
The preface. Quick story.
The working title of this book is...
Get this.
This book is going to save mankind.
Nothing like setting people's expectations realistically right off the hop, right? Right off Jump Street. It's not like
you want me to read the chapter? I'll read you the chapter titles.
Oh, please. Oh, my God, please.
These are the chapter titles of a book titled what, Lachlan?
This book is going to save mankind.
Okay.
Chapter title 1.
Why is Locke the way he is?
Number 2.
Hold on, I got to get past all the stories. There was 5 stories in chapter 1.
Of course there was.
All about you, right?
5 stories about me.
Okay.
Yeah. Chapter 2.
Changing people's lives, but the first.
Why is Locker writing the book?
That's chapter 3. What's chapter 3?
Hang on here. I got to get to it. Chapter 3. Why Locke is part of the problem.
There's still nothing to do with the title. Chapter 4. What do you got for
saving the world?
Chapter 4?
Chapter 4. I don't have anything right now. But I have an idea. I've got chapter idea. The hardest lesson I ever had to learn. Nobody.
Still about you. You fucking red herring the whole title. You might as well have called it I Figured Out How to Cure Cancer and then just start writing stories about your life. Like it doesn't matter what the title is because it has nothing to do with what you're
I figured out how to solve
in.
world hunger. Let me tell you about my toenail.
This book might save mankind. Chapter 1. A story about me.
I didn't see the humor in this at all until Dean brought it up because he was like, "Hey, where's the book?" He legitimately asked me, like on the weekend, we were chatting, and he's like, "Hey, how's the book going?" So I started telling him, and I can hear him going. He can hardly breathe, and I'm going, "This can't be that funny." I thought that this was like
serious,
poignant. He thought it was poignant.
And then when I told him, I said, because he's reading the titles, and it's like, how Locke became this way, where Locke grew up, why Lachlan hates people, that time Lachlan had hair on his burger, like that kind of stuff. And you're like, and I'm like, okay, well, what is the title again? He goes, oh, this book might save mankind. And I'm like, wow, that is fucking special. That's a guy that does not know how to write a book. You know what he said to me too? I go, are those chapters? He goes, no, I'm not at the chapter portion yet. These aren't chapters. They're just titles on pages, and then I'm going to get to the chapters later if I feel like having chapters.
Yeah, fuck AI. I got a book.
I hope you do this as a series, and like the next one, Locke solves world hunger, and he just complains about that time at the A&W drive-through.
And then the first chapter's about his toenail being necrotic. Yeah.
I told Dean, I said, I have one story that I wasn't able to work into it because it doesn't feel like it's part of the overall arching theme of the story.
Dude, that's the whole fucking theme in the book. Not one is. Oh, they're all fucking selfish stories.
And he goes, what's that story? And I said, so my mom owned this red Chevy pickup truck, this piece of shit truck when I was a kid.
Here we go.
And I didn't write it down, but I've got it. I've got a note in there. Find a way to include this story into the book to make it sense about saving mankind. So my mom used to let me ride in the back of the truck, which for some reason as a kid I loved. Like I didn't like sitting in the cab of the truck. I always wanted to sit in the back of the truck.
She loved it too when you were back there too, but there's a reason Locker was in the back of the truck.
So
saving the world.
I run to the truck and I jump in the back.
What chapter is this, by the way? What chapter?
He left this out.
This is in chapter 1, but it's not included in one of the 5 stories of chapter 1. It's just a story that I think might be able to work into the book. I just got to figure out where it fits best into the overall
it doesn't matter what
theme of the.
Nothing fits in this book, so it won't matter.
So anyway,
choose your own selfish story adventure is what it is.
We're on our way to the Yak General store to rent a movie for Friday night movies. And my mom goes, I'll let you ride in the back of the truck. And I'm like, awesome. Okay, now keep in mind, when I was between the ages of 12 to 14, 15, I grew 1.5 feet and didn't gain any weight. But I had a wingspan on me. I was all cock and ribs. Like it was nasty. I was such an awkward looking kid. I grew so fast. My feet went from size 8 to 12 in a year. Like I was just like gangly monster. Jumped into the back of the truck, and my mom and my sister got in at the same time and shut the door when I'm hanging onto the roof of the truck. And they slammed my hands into the truck. The door shut on my hands. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm stuck and I'm yelling, but this thing has no fucking muffler. It's a piece of shit. She can't hear me. So she starts backing out of the driveway to head into town.
With your hands shut in both doors.
In the doors. They shut the door at the exact same time. Like a loser, I put my hands inside the open doors. So I'm literally banging my head on the roof of the truck for about 10 miles before they pulled over. I get out. I get off the back of the truck. My mom comes like, what's wrong with you? And my hands are literally bent like this.
It's got
like the door shut on my hands. I don't know how that fits into the overall theme of the book, like I said, but I'm going to work that in as a story.
How long? Yeah, whatever. You put whatever you want in this book. It won't matter. Let me ask you, how long did you drive with your hands shut in the door for?
Said
About
10 miles.
10 miles. About 10 miles. We almost hit that bend in the river and the road where all that shit dumps out. Like we left, we were on our way to the general store from like, I was going down the highway, banging my head on the roof of the fucking truck. They wouldn't pull over. I was.
Yeah, that's a great story. Put that in the book too. Whatever. Put that in the book.
That'll help save mankind.
Well, not anymore because you told it. Like people.
There's
the
a
thing
chapter
about books,
preview.
right? You're telling all these stories, and if anybody has ever listened to this podcast,
There's
will
a lot
never
more
buy
to this
this book. Well, I doubt it, but they will never buy this book because they've heard the stories before.
Oh my god.
So thank God you got a snappy title that has nothing to do with the stories.
Oh, that hurt. That
At all.
fucking hurt. Oh.
That was a fun Friday, lads. Thanks for doing this today. A lot of fun. Lock and Cross 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. Listen to them every single weekday morning. Every single morning, 7 to 9, 957 cruisefm.ca. Sorry, 6 to 9 a.m. That is in Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you are, just know it's Mountain
They started
Standard
8 here in
MST.
Ontario. Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see the agenda reveal party? Or
Yes.
reveal video? Agenda
Or Jimmy.
Go watch it, Dean. You'll like it.
Or Jimmy.
All right, I'll go watch it. No, all I know is that
Can you believe he couldn't figure out the underwear thing?
Now, I caught it right away. As soon as you guys did it, I looked. I'm like, they're wearing boxer briefs, and he's wearing ladies' panties. Why do they keep doing
Pink
this to
panties.
him?
You guys all dropped your drawers, and Grant's having a
It's
girl.
a
right?
girl.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
exciting. That's
So
Yeah.
good. Congratulations.
We had
Also,
to tell
real
him
quick,
what?
Hold it. Let me finish. Let me just get through this. Jimmy, your little fella, is playing his stripper alter ego this weekend in beautiful Edson, Alberta
Edson,
at Peeler's
At
Peeler's Nudie Bar, April 1st. It's Saturday in Edson. So if you're in Edson, Alberta, please go and see Body Heat, all the male strippers with special guest Hugh Hafner.
One of these things is not like the other.
Oh my
Dude,
God. I just got off the phone just before we jumped on the podcast with the owner of that bar, Brian. I called him up and I said, because I said to Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, do me a favor. You got to get me a picture of you with the other strippers, the other male strippers, because they all work out and they can do like handstands and backflips and like they're all like in wicked shape, right? They're part of a male dance. Yeah. And Jimmy is like this overweight alcoholic midget, right? And he'll be the life of the party. Everyone will love Jimmy. He'll win over the whole crowd. So it's smart of them to bring him. But I'm like, you need to get a picture of you with these dancers because I need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, you know what? There's lots of rules around pictures. Most of these strippers, they don't like to be, they don't like cameras. It's not allowed in the bar. And I'm like, just give me a
What is he
picture.
taking this seriously? Is that he's going, no, there's protocol with stripping? There's no protocol with stripping.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, so I was so annoyed. I phoned the owner of the bar because I have his number. And I'm like, Brian, I need a picture.
You have Peeler's phone number? Peeler's
first name basis. First name basis. Hey, Bri.
Do you know how many people we've been talking about this all week? Do you know how many people from Edson have contacted us and like, we're going? And it's dudes. They're so excited to see Jimmy. They're going to a male strip thing just to see Jimmy.
You mean
listeners of our show?
They're not going to see Jimmy. They're going to see special guest Hugh Hafner.
Hugh Hafner.
Yeah.
In his Den of Sadness apartment.
They will wade through a field of dingers to get to Jimmy.
Yeah,
for
that's
him.
awesome. Well,
Good
if I was
for
in
him.
Edson, I might even go this weekend. And I don't even like looking at my own dinger.
I
there you go.
thought about going. I swear to God, I thought about going because I
That's
can't.
like a 3-hour adventure for you, though. Like from the second you leave your house to the second you get there and the second you go back, you're talking about 7 hours. That's too much of a commitment to make to go and support anybody. I don't care who it is. Maybe even your wife. Like if your wife was, and I'm not like, let's say your wife was
Stripping?
doing a,
Stripping,
no. Yeah. Let's say Deb was doing a turn at Nudies, Peeler's Bar, or whatever it's called. And like, would you spend 7 hours going, I'm really going to go support you this weekend? No, of course you wouldn't. You'd be like, that's 7 hours. I could be doing anything else I want. I don't think I'm going to go. That's how I feel about stuff. When someone's like, you should come to this thing. I'm like, yeah, but what about my free will?
Okay, it's called.
I'm morally opposed. I can't go.
Okay. It's in Edson.
Yeah,
There's like 10,000 people in that city. It's a dance troupe called Body Heat, and they've thrown an alcoholic overweight midget on the bill. I almost went. That's sorry. I get what you're saying.
Does he know he's the one fat ugly one? Like this?
No. He's not under any illusion of what he's there for.
Like he knows he's not there like making chicks excited, right? Like he's there for comic relief.
They love him though.
I know
Dean, they will love him. He'll be the hit of the party.
No, I know that, but like how you go to like female strip joints or you drive by one, like there's and it's just like 40 hot women, one ugly one. Like that's the thing, right? That's what they do.
Jimmy's
it's like I want to go see this. I know he's
Jimmy
fun,
will come
but like
out,
he's
he'll
under
do his
no
tearaway
illusion.
pants.
He knows he's not, Rick, John, Mike, and Alan from Body Heat, though, right? Like he does know that.
Yeah, this isn't Magic Mike.
Yeah. This is Magic
I think one of them's name is Tito.
Of course it is.
The guy on the left is Tito.
That's got to be a Tito.
Well, if you're in the area, go to Edson this weekend. Head to Peeler's Nudie Bar. You can see Jimmy all day tomorrow.
We'll have pictures and hopefully some video. Brian's like, "Are you okay with nudity?" I'm like, "Absolutely." I don't know if I want to see everybody's hammer, but send it.
Yeah. But I've seen myself naked and I know what to expect. So yes, you can send me those pictures. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for doing this, Locke. Really appreciate it.
That was a fun one today.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck this weekend, Linz. I mean that.
Yeah, I need it. It's going to be a good one. I'm actually being pressured now. We got to hit the road. And we're heading to Cheese Boutique right now.
Well, get out of here. Cheese Boutique Food Truck Takeover, 45 Ripley Avenue. We'll see everybody at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and then again on Sunday. Great to see you, Locke. Great to see you, Ryan Lindley at Ryan Lindley. The Getting Sauced podcast
tomorrow,
reveal will be tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow too, sir. He's going to take off. We'll see you then. We're going to bring everybody down. We're going to go to Ripley Avenue, 45 Ripley Avenue, Toronto, Ontario, 11 o'clock. We'll be there. Garpar fries. Quality diner burger, like a real brisket diner burger, Hogtown slider, horseradish mustard, Garpar fries, Mrs. Lindley's famous homemade butter tarts. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Have a great weekend too. And thanks to our friends at Cantork for making this possible. My friend Colin Livingston is the principal at Cantork. Cantork makes some pretty beautiful torque wrenches for people around the world. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's like heavy machinery, they got you covered. Loosening or fastening in big work industries like nuclear, like mining, like railroad, like steel industries. These guys do everything from sales, service, rentals, calibration, maintenance, custom fabrication of industrial torque tools. No matter the scale of your bolting project, my friend Colin Livingston and his team will manufacture it, design it, everything right here in Canada. And then they're going to make sure you have a solution for you and your industry. Go to cantork.com for more information. My friend Rob Kivlikin at kivlaw.ca, Kivlaw defense attorneys, top criminal defense lawyers here in beautiful Southern Ontario out of St. Catharines. Doesn't matter what you've been dinged with or if you've been wrongfully accused or arrested. If you need someone to litigate on your behalf and hold your hand through a pretty serious legal issue, even if it's not that serious, you need great advice. You want to get your life back. You need a great criminal defense team. He knows his clients need honest answers. It's what he's here for. Robert at kivlaw.ca. Send him an email today. Again, Robert at kivlaw.ca. Check him out online at kivlaw.ca. Southern Ontario's best Kivlaw defense attorneys. Again, kivlaw.ca. And Gitch, we're brought to you by our friends at Gitch. Luxury branded boxer briefs, pouch in the front, tons of colors. Super soft, barely there comfort. They keep you cool, moisture wicking action, luxurious modal, made for all levels of performance. You can run, walk, sprint through your day. Doesn't matter. They're engineered for you, with you in mind in every single situation. And these are made in Canada by Canadians as well. If you're looking for a free pair, go to edsfineimports.com. Order Gitch. Use promo code GITCH3 at checkout. He'll send you a free pair. When you buy 3, you'll get 1 for free. Again, free underwear. Luxury branded boxer briefs with the pouch in the front. Go to edsfineimports.com. Use promo code GITCH3 at checkout. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at Ripley Avenue, 11 o'clock for the Cheese Boutiques Food Truck Takeover. We will all be there. You will be there. We have everybody from the network. coming as well. Let's go support Ryan. Let's go launch another podcast. Why not? It's what we're in the business of doing. Oh. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.